community. So in this video we are gonna be discussing a topic that has resurfaced on the internet, and it is pretty privilege. So let's talk about it. In case you're not familiar with the term pretty privilege, I'm gonna read you a definition off of Urban Dictionary, and the mere fact that I'm giving you a definition from Urban Dictionary goes to show you that this is like a recent terminology that people have come to use to describe it. So here's the definition. It's a person who has more opportunities and becomes more successful in life because of how attractive they are. So basically you get nice things and good treatment and more opportunities, as it says, because people think that you're good looking. Now, based on that definition, is pretty privilege real? Yeah? So before you answer that, I want us to consider two things. And I think this is important for the conversation. It's one, that you don't determine if you get pretty privilege. So you can think, you know, you are the best thing since sliced bread, but if you don't fit into what society says is pretty, you may not necessarily benefit from pretty privilege or experience pretty privilege. And with that said, we know that beauty standards around the world differ. So depending on where you go, what is considered beautiful is different. So whether you get that privilege is also dependent on where you are. So if we consider in Western cultures and how now, you know, a nice curvaceous voluptuous woman, big lips is where the beauty standard is, compared to even before when it was typical Victoria's Secret model type, paper thin nose, that was considered beauty. And that's in the Western cultures, but in like Asian cultures, you know, being thin is still a huge thing, and having thigh gaps and having a chiseled jawline and a straight nose. If we take it to Africa, like in Ethiopia, they have scarring ceremonies to make women beautiful. You have the long neck tribe of persons who the longer your neck, the more beautiful you're considered. So beauty is dependent on where you are, and whether you receive that privilege will be dependent on where you are as well. So with all that said, let's go back to the question of, is it real? Is pretty privilege real? And I want to use Jamaica as an example because yes, I'm born and grew. So the standard of beauty, let me start there by telling you what the standard of beauty is in Jamaica. So light skinned, or as we call it, browning, pretty hair, and pretty hair defined is like curly hair, you know, like that mixed look 3A type thing. Coolie, or people with Indian descent, people of Indian descent with Indian roots, bow leg, woman with big bottom, with full of shape. Like, that is the definition of what beauty is in Jamaica, or what even historically as we've known it. And I remember growing up, they used to tell us that, you know, certain persons couldn't get certain jobs if they didn't look a certain way. So you couldn't be a flight attendant if you didn't meet that standard that I just described. So, and I remember like flying as a child, all the flight attendants were super light skinned, Indian looking, pretty hair, like they matched that to a T. Like it was almost like a checkbox to get the job. Same thing for bank tellers, you know. I remember them saying that you couldn't get a bank teller job if you didn't look like a certain way. So basically I'm using all of that to say that pretty privilege is definitely real, because people that fit into that certain box are getting more opportunities, in this case specific jobs, or you know, more people are attracted to you, and more men catcall you on the road because you fit into this mold or whatever it is. So it exists. I don't know if being catcalled is a privilege, because we know, oh my god, but you guys get what I'm saying. So having established that pretty privilege is definitely real, can we even do anything about it? So pretty privilege kind of it's based in science. So basically there's something called the halo effect, and that is why naturally, like, people experience pretty privilege. So let me define halo effect for you. So it's a type of cognitive bias in which our overall impression of a person influences how we feel and think about their character. So because I find you attractive, or I think you're good looking, I automatically assume that maybe you're a nice person, that, you know, you're smart, and any other positive trait. So I am more prone to be nicer to you, to do more things for you, to maybe give you a bly in things, because nice good looking girl, you know, she's not a bad person, so I'm gonna skip this traffic ticket and just make her go about her business, you know what I mean? And we don't even know that we're doing it. Like, our brain automatically makes that association, and halo effect is most commonly coined with physical looks, yeah? So it's more so attraction than any other thing. And imagine, like, you're out here giving people privileges and not even realize, because your brain just subconsciously goes, yeah man, trust her, yeah man, she a good youth, that, you know? That's crazy. Isn't that crazy? Like, our brain, like, we control it, but really it control me, because we don't even know half of the things that it's been doing sometimes. So I want to share my experience with pretty privilege, and I am going to say that I've never, like, experienced, like, real career life-changing opportunities because of pretty privilege, or at least I don't believe I have. But I have benefited from it in smaller ways, and things can manifest themselves in smaller ways. So, like, if I go to the bar, I'll get through super fast, because once the bartender and my eye make 4, it's over. I'm getting served. And that's just the experience that I have. I've been pulled over by the police multiple times for, I'm gonna say, traffic violations. And I've never gotten a ticket. But most times than not, the conversation ends with, so which part you go? You can't come. Can't give me a number. You know, like, sir, didn't I just commit an offense? Like, stop. And even if people just nicer to you when them think you're pretty. Like, even when I'm traveling, I make an effort to look nice and presentable, so I don't get no hassle at security. So you know, and when I travel, almost always, like, as one of the representatives that you interact with, wow, you're so pretty. Oh my God, thank you so much. It's by design. Like, okay, carry on. You know what I mean? So to say that it does, there are so many small ways that you benefit from it. And I know this is a part of a bigger problem, because when we're talking about job opportunities and loss of them because of how you look, like, that's a major problem. And I really don't feel like I've benefited from it in that way, but I'm sure there's other people that have. We can use TikTok as an example. We can use YouTube. How many of the people you follow on YouTube you don't think good looking? Seriously, even if you don't think like they're a pot of gold, like there's something about them that you like, or because you chances are you were more prone to click on that video because, oh, that girl that look nice, see? Like, it exists and we don't even realize. As I said, it's subconscious. We spoke about it, so we're like, let me watch her, or not bad. She seem nice, or does she seem nice because you like look on her when she talk and your mind do realize it. You know what I mean? It manifests itself in so many ways, and we don't even know that we're doing it. But even as I say that, like, are there drawbacks and negative sides to pretty privilege? Me want to talk about them things because I feel like I experience that more than the other times, than the positive ones. So let me give you some of my experiences. So if you consider all the shows that you've watched, the character that is the pretty one, or that is the one that's, you know, self-absorbed, all about looking good, what other traits do they have? Almost always they're stupid too, right? Like, they're an airhead in the show. Like, what example? Well, maybe not Legally Blonde, but people automatically assume that she was not bright. Even Scooby-Doo, Daphne was like a complete airhead. In Friends, Rachel was the stupid one, and she was the hot one in the group. So people automatically assume a lot of negative things when you're pretty as well, and it is because society perpetuates those things. And I almost feel like it's like a balancing act. So because you're good looking, you can't smart too, because the world has to balance out some way, somehow type of thing. And it's the same way, like, people automatically assume that people that are good looking are mean as well. Like, you see them and you go, I bet she have an attitude, I bet all these things. Like, you just automatically assume that because, well, them good looking, and I don't even think we realize that. And I think I do that sometimes too. Like I see somebody and I think they're good looking, and if I talk to them and they're nice, I'm like, wow, that was a pleasant surprise. Because you don't expect that people that are so good look, like you think they're full of themselves, and like them, you think that they think that they're better than people. And if you look at an average person, like, would you automatically assume that they're mean? You wouldn't. So there are drawbacks to it as well. And speaking from my own experiences, you know, when you look a certain way in Jamaica, like, people automatically assume that you have money or you're rich. If I'm driving on the road, the windscreen wiper not going to ask me for $20, I'm going to ask me for $100. I've even had an instance where it asked me for $1,000. Like, hello sir, me and you work my paycheck? You know, I've been downtown and the vendors tell me for go to supermarket, so I can't go downtown because my brown and little cute. No? Or I've seen him downtown, the man literally told me, all me for brown and no money. And that was years ago, you know, guys. I'm telling you, that's something that stick with me now, because I say, but am I doing life wrong? Is there a part of this that I'm missing? Have I not unlocked the secret? But, and I know these things are like minuscule, like, oh, somebody say you're brown and none money, whoopty, like, it's not a real problem. But if you consider that I'm being judged negatively because of all of just because, you know, I'm well put together, then like I don't get a fair shot. So I've shared my experiences with Pretty Privilege. I'd love to hear your experience. You know, have you benefited from it? Have you been on the butt end of Pretty Privilege, where you have missed out on an opportunity because somebody else was prettier or considered more conventionally attractive than you were? I'd love to know. Let's have the conversation in the comments. Comment below, let me know. And from there, I want to say, like, what can we do about it? We've already established that it's something that we even do subconsciously. How can we fix it? Do you extend Pretty Privilege to people? I think that's a question as well. Alright guys, so we are at the end of this discussion. I'd like to know, you know, like them type of video here, because I really like talking. Like, my sister was just telling me, like, stop. She was like, stop talking. Like, I enjoy these types of videos. So let me know if you'd like more videos where I sit down and talk to you guys about different topics like this. And you can even make suggestions of topics in the comments. So I really hope, you know, this was a conversation starter, and that you try to be more aware of your actions as you move forward, and, you know, just how Pretty Privilege really exists, and how maybe you contribute to that, or how you can stop contributing to that. So with that said, if you did enjoy this video, be sure to give it a thumbs up. If you're not subscribed, subscribe now. Come on. Oh, leave me a flower in the comments if you made it to this far, you know, because you blooming and growing and you're beautiful. And I'll see you in the next one. Bye.